Welcome to English Earbuds, where we make learning English fun and engaging. Do you have 10 minutes to become better than yesterday? If you really want to learn English easily, listening is an effective way to do it. We're providing podcast content where you can learn new words and strategies to improve your English. So, try to listen to the full podcast without skipping. It will be really helpful for you. I am your host Emma. Let's dive into the today topic.
Hello, is this Ms. Johnson?
Yes, this is Johnson speaking.
Hi Ms. Johnson, this is Mark from BrightPath Solutions. I'm calling regarding your application for the marketing assistant position. Are you available to talk for a few minutes?
Sorry, I cannot hear you clearly. Am I audible to you?
Yes, I can hear you well now. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, much better, thank you.
Great. I wanted to let you know that we've reviewed your application and are impressed with your background. We'd like to invite you for a walk-in interview tomorrow at 10 a.m. Does that fit into your schedule?
Yes, absolutely. I can make it at 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Perfect. Could you please bring a copy of your resume and any other relevant documents with you?
Sure, I'll have everything prepared.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to meeting you in person and discussing your qualifications further.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, Mark. I'm really excited about it.
You're welcome, Ms. Johnson. We'll see you tomorrow at 10 then.
Sounds good. Thank you again.
Have a great day ahead.
You too, Mark. Have you ever felt awkward during a phone call, struggling to keep the conversation going? In this episode, we'll explore practical tips to transform your phone conversations into meaningful dialogues. We'll cover techniques for starting conversations, keeping them flowing, and ending them gracefully. Let's get started. Let's dive into the art of starting a conversation. This is your golden opportunity to set the stage, and believe me, a strong start can instantly put both you and your conversation partner at ease, sparking engagement and interest right from the first hello. Be prepared. First things first, be prepared. Know why you're calling. Maybe you need to discuss something specific, or perhaps you're just catching up. Either way, having a purpose helps you stay focused. Plus, it's always good to have a few topics in mind. Think about recent events, mutual interests, or even a fun anecdote you can share. This way, you're not scrambling for words once the conversation starts. Tip 2. Use open-ended questions. Next up, let's talk questions. Open-ended questions are your best friends here. Why? Because they invite more than just a yes or no response. Imagine this: instead of asking, "Did you have a good weekend?" you could say, "How was your weekend?" The first question might get you a simple yes or no, but the second one opens the door for them to share details and keeps the conversation flowing. Tip 3. Compliments and observations. Another great strategy is to start with a genuine compliment or an observation about something you both have in common. For example, if you're calling a coworker, you might say, "I really liked your presentation yesterday. It had some great insights." Or if it's a friend, you might comment on something you know they care about, like, "I saw your latest Instagram post about your garden, those flowers look amazing." These kinds of openers show that you're attentive and interested, and they can really set a positive tone for the conversation, keeping the conversation flowing. Alright, now that we've kicked things off with a great start, let's talk about keeping the conversation flowing smoothly. One of the most important skills here is active listening. You want to show the other person that you're genuinely interested in what they're saying. This means nodding along, making affirming sounds like or I see, and responding thoughtfully to their points. For example, if they mention they're working on a new project, you could say, "That sounds fascinating. What inspired you to start this project?" This not only shows you're paying attention, but also encourages them to share more. Sharing personal stories. Another key to a lively conversation is sharing your own experiences and stories. This makes the interaction more dynamic and relatable. Think of it like a dance, it's a back and forth exchange. If they talk about a hobby they enjoy, you could share a similar interest or a related story from your own life. For instance, if they mention they love hiking, you might respond with, "Oh, I love hiking too. I recently went on a trail at Forest. Have you ever been there?" This kind of sharing builds rapport and keeps the conversation balanced. Transitions and segues. Transitions are like the secret sauce of smooth conversations. They help you move from one topic to another, without those awkward pauses. The trick is to find a natural link between topics. Let's say you're talking about travel, and you want to switch to talking about food. You might say something like, "Speaking of travel, I remember trying the most amazing street food in that restaurant. Do you have any favorite food spots from your travels?" This way, the conversation flows naturally from one subject to the next. Handling awkward silences. And then there are those dreaded, awkward silences. They happen to the best of us, but don't worry, there are ways to navigate them gracefully. One approach is to have a few go-to topics in your back pocket. These could be current events, interesting books or movies, or mutual interests. For example, if there's a lull in the conversation, you might say, "By the way, have you seen the latest movies? I'd love to hear what you thought about it." This gives the conversation a fresh direction and keeps it moving forward. Remember, a good conversation is a balance between listening and speaking. Make sure you're giving the other person space to share their thoughts, but don't be afraid to contribute your own insights and stories. It's this balance that makes the conversation engaging for both parties. Ending the conversation gracefully. Signals to wrap up. Now, let's talk about wrapping up the conversation gracefully. Ending a conversation can be tricky, but it's important to do it in a way that feels natural and considerate. Look for natural pauses or cues that indicate the other person is ready to finish up. Maybe they've started to repeat themselves, or perhaps there's a lull in the conversation. These are good signals that it might be time to wrap things up. Express gratitude. One of the best ways to end a conversation on a positive note is to express gratitude. Thank the other person for their time and for sharing their thoughts with you. This leaves a good impression and shows that you value the conversation. For example, you might say, "It's been really great talking with you. I appreciate you taking the time to chat with me." Simple, but effective. Set up future interactions. If appropriate, suggest another time to talk or meet. This shows that you're interested in continuing the relationship and keeps the door open for future conversations. For example, "I really enjoyed our chat today. Let's plan to catch up again next week. How does that sound?" Or "I'd love to hear more about your project. Maybe we can grab coffee sometime and discuss it further." End on a positive note. Ending on a positive note leaves a lasting good impression. You might share a final positive thought or well wishes. For example, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, or good luck with your presentation tomorrow. I'm sure you'll do great. These kinds of comments leave the other person feeling good about the interaction. Thanks for tuning in to English Earbuds. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and found it valuable for your English learning journey. Remember, consistency is key, so make sure to subscribe for more tips and strategies. If you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to reach out. Keep practicing and watch your English skills soar. Until next time, happy learning!
If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more videos, and support our channel.